Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Catherine. Today I just wanted to make a little updated video on the Pentax review video that I posted like 4 years ago. That video actually did so surprisingly well. It's got like 40k views, and that is a lot to me because my channel is still pretty small, but I am just so grateful for every single one of you. People DM'd me on Instagram asking me questions about the camera and photography in general. I have my laptop here because I made some notes, so don't mind this. Definitely have been thinking about making more photography content, but I'm also still figuring out the type of content that I would like to put on this channel. If you guys have any suggestion just in general or photography related, please let me know in the comment down below. Damn, that is like one of the most YouTube thing I could have said. I feel like I've rambled on for quite a long time, so let's get to the video. Do I still think the Pentax camera is worth it? I think if you're a beginner and you're looking for a place to start from photography, sure, like the Pentax Espio is a great start, or any point and shoot. But I think the Pentax Espio especially offers quite a lot because there is so much function that you could do with the camera. It looks bulky, but it's actually pretty light and it doesn't really take up that much space. Because it is a point and shoot, I think it's a great place for any beginner to start with. It's got autofocus, auto exposure, and you can control the zoom. I mean, that means you have to kind of sacrifice on the aperture a little bit, but I think it's still a great camera. Actually, let me check what's the aperture on that camera. Although my eyes is really itchy. An aperture of 4.8. That might not be enough when you're taking portrait photography because you don't get that kind of nice blur in the background. If you just want to start somewhere, I think that's perfectly fine. I think really the purpose of the camera is to give you more hands-on practice, and because a point and shoot camera is still a little bit different from a disposable, it does give you some more control. I think definitely image quality is a lot better, and personally I'm a firm believer that the camera is not the most important factor. You don't have to get the same camera as the photographer that you've been following or the influencer that you follow. They're probably good cameras, but you can still take good photos without those cameras. I'm not sure about the market price right now, but I feel like maybe there have been a little drop. Digicam is kind of more on trend right now, I feel, but I do know that the price of film has definitely not gone down. This Espio was actually my first film camera. The simplicity and it all was one of the best thing about it, especially because I don't like adjusting a lot. I kind of just like to be able to press the shutter in the moment, and I don't like to think too much. Point and shoot are definitely better than disposal. Some people like the really grainy texture of disposals, but personally I do not like that. I would like my pictures have a little higher resolution, but it's really sad that that camera broke like 4 years ago. So right now the one I mainly use is actually this one. Let me just show you. Is this is this one from Canon. Like this. Okay, the flash is supposed to go up like this, but yeah, that's a story for another time. It's also another point and shoot. I'm just obsessed with point and shoots, and I used to have a lot more until I was moving out of my dorm. I don't know if it's like a rite of passage kind of thing. I got rid of most of them, and I have this one left, and this other one, Nikon L35AF, but that one is also kind of broken, so I don't know why I kept it. I keep thinking I could fix it, but I can't. Okay, so I've just come to terms with that, but this is the one that I use mostly right now. I could also do a review on this one if anyone is interested, or I might just do it anyways. This is like a pretty cute little camera too, so but I think for Pentax, if you've been shooting film for a little bit, if you're looking for something more premium, if you want something with more control, then maybe this is not the one for you. You're gonna be okay with troubleshooting vintage gear, or you have to come to terms with the fact that it might break down. anytime because they are really old machines made, you know, decades ago. What kind of film do I use? I think for a lot of the photos that I showed, I used the Kodak Go 200, which is actually a personal favorite because I really like the warm ambience. I just think it's so soft and it works great, especially under the sun. I think I also like Fuji ones because I like how green looks on them. It's like this darker, deeper type of green. But again, the color of your photos really depends on shooting conditions. Is it sunny outside, is it cloudy, and well, the developing part of it, the scanning part of it, or actually if your film is expired or not. Expired film makes everything a lot grainier and just darker in general. It just reduces the exposure. I think when you're buying a camera, you also need to consider the cost of film because that, let me tell you, has not been going down. And they're stopping the production of so many films. I don't know why. I definitely do think that film will work the best under sunny photos. That's obviously not possible every time. Do you use a flash when you shoot outside? I think this really depends on the weather conditions. If it's cloudy and rainy and dark outside or like at night, definitely use the flash if you want to see something in a picture. Like you don't just want a black blob of grains. And then on sunny days, I guess you don't have to, but you could. I don't know if you guys can hear like the dogs right now, but it sounds like there's a dog fight. Where did I get the camera? I got it from Carousel, which is the Hong Kong version of eBay. I did look on eBay, but a lot of it was international sellers from, I don't know, the States or Japan, and I wasn't entirely sure how custom and all the international shipping was gonna work out. So I just opted for something local. So I'll say definitely look around you first. I know that a lot of film shops in Hong Kong, they also sell cameras, but personally I think those are little out of my price range, especially considering that I have to get the film as well. Guys, film is so expensive. How do you transfer the photos to your computer or phone, or how do you export the photos out of the camera? So to do that, there is two ways. Once you're done with the film, you rewind it back. Once the camera rewind the film for you, then you open the back of the camera, you take the film out, and there's two ways to go about. The first one is if you have access to a dark room and you don't mind going through all the trouble yourself. To be honest, I feel like it's not even that much trouble, but then you could process the film yourself. I don't really know how that works, so don't ask me because I go for the second way, which is I send it to a local camera shop or those film developing stores. What they do is they will send me an electronic copy of the photos I took. I wanted to say something else, but I forgot. Oh, and then if you send it out to a shop, you have the options to get the film negatives back. So if you keep the negatives, you could scan it again for later. You know, you can use that to print out pictures. Pictures, did I just say pictures? I meant pictures. Another thing to keep in mind is that some shops will only keep the negatives for a certain period of time, for example like 3 months or 6 months. So it's really important to check with them, and usually after the time they will just discard everything. So if you want your negatives, then you should get it within that time, but if you don't want it, you know, it's all up to you. But yeah, I think this is it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.